All right, hi everyone. This is my short 3-minute presentation on my sample for the text mining project number 1. So I'll get right into it. I looked at some of the listserv comments and threads from the POD network. So just a little bit of a background about the POD network. It's an organization that's faculty development focused. They have several things that they do, including a big conference every year, and they put out a bunch of resources. They have various groups and things, and they also have a listserv, which is pretty active. It's one of the most active listservs that I've seen, and so there's some really great topics on there. But there's just so many coming in, so I wanted to take a little bit of a closer look and see what was in there. So what I did was I did 2 samples. You can go in directly in Google, so the listserv is actually a Google group. So I can go into the Google group and look at the different topics in there, or I can just go through my email and like copy the stuff from there. So I did a little bit of both. So for sample 1, I went every 10th discussion and analyzed it back to 20. So I had 20 discussions and I looked at each one and analyzed them. So that went back about 200. That went back 200 postings if you do every 10 and get to 20. So I did that, and then the second sample was I looked at all the subject lines of all the discussions for the last 200. So that took me a little while to figure out how to do quickly without having to cut and paste 200 of them. But I figured out a way to do it pretty quickly, so it's not as tedious as it sounds. So with all that stuff gathered, I had them all as PDFs, and I got them into NVivo. For my 2 phenomena, I chose professionals as lifelong learners and faculty as a community and knowledge resource. So these were the 2, and these are the kind of things you would expect. So, in terms of lifelong learners, not only are these faculty development professionals trying to encourage lifelong learning in faculty, but they are also very curious group as well. So it was pretty inspiring to see people just kind of wanting to learn about learning and teaching, but also learning as a community themselves. And the thing that I find is the most useful is just faculty community sharing resources. So that's what I sort of use it for as well, just trying to find, okay, well, I'm looking for something about encouraging critical thinking, and so people will throw that kind of stuff out there, kind of like people do on Twitter, and then they'll get a bunch of responses with resources. But I find the group to be very encouraging and supportive. The other thing that I found, though, that I didn't discuss as a phenomena was there's tons of job postings and conference postings, so that's really great too. But it can get kind of overwhelming where it's calls for proposals for conferences and things like that when you're just looking for more information. Anyway, that was how I did it and how I did the sampling, and then I just took all the PDFs and did NVivo and did what most of us did. One tip that I found about NVivo is that in addition to the resources that are in Blackboard, I also used the resources available from lynda.com, and there's a couple of 1-hour videos that kind of helped out a little bit too. But yeah, it was a great project. I look forward to using NVivo more and doing more stuff like this. Thanks a lot for watching.